guys, it's Jen, Nicole, and Amanda, and we're back for our second podcast. We will be talking about Fear of the Walking Dead, Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time, and Gotham this week. So, do y'all want to just dive right in and talk about it?
Yeah.
All right, so...
What is in your mug?
Pumpkin spice
latte.
Looks like somebody mixed orange juice with your coffee. It's gross.
All right, so...
Amazing.
So on Fear this week, the last 2 weeks, there have been a lot going on.
Has there been a lot going on?
Kind of. I'm trying to give it trying to be positive about it. Fear is not living up to my expectations as of this point. I'm going to give it through the finale that's going to be this weekend, and we'll talk more about that at that point. But, I mean, some things did happen, you know. It starts off with the son, Chris, videoing the dead zone, where they've, quarantined, basically. Anyone who's in that zone is considered infected or is not going to be rescued anymore. So he's videoing and he sees a light flashing, and it kind of starts from there. And the parents, he goes to his father, and his father kind of ignores him. And then Madison later on he shows, and she goes to the area.
On the strangest field trip ever.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It was kind of
anticlimactic.
It was anticlimactic. Yeah. She didn't bring a weapon. She went by herself into the infected area.
Did she have the wire cutter still, or did she leave those at the fence?
She didn't seem to have them on her.
Yeah, she didn't seem to have them on her.
Also, rule number 1, don't cut a hole in your fence.
Yeah, it's probably not the smartest thing
Bad
to do.
Idea. Bad.
I wasn't really impressed. They're not really being very smart about things. The military is taking over, and we're learning about, at this point, we've met Dr. Exner, who has come to the area to help the people who are sick
she's
and
a
dying.
Lot like Paul in Orphan Black.
At first, you want to believe that she's good and she's helping people, but by the end of the episode, you see that the military is basically taking all the sick, wounded, and even the drug addicts, including Nick, to the hospital. And you also have this moment with Doug, which is their neighbor, who you see him very emotional and giving up and not seeing any way out. So he is also taken for mental stability, I guess. Basically, he leaves his family, and it's just sad. They take the mother who hurt her foot, so the father, Griselda, is taken.
The only person on the show who I know her name.
I don't know the barber's name, which makes me very upset, but I'm going to call him Sweeney Todd, because that's what he's basically becoming. He has become the demon barber of the street, basically. So,
I think it's interesting. I think that so far the tone of this show, it's had a lot of disadvantages coming after Walking Dead, because we as an audience know all this stuff and the characters don't, and they're having to kind of follow in this shadow. But it's interesting that the way that we perceive people on this show is kind of exactly the opposite of the way we perceive people in Walking Dead. Like, the people who really are getting shit done and know what they're doing are the bad guys in this show. Like, frankly, everything the military does in that neighborhood is for the greater good. Like, they're taking out any unstable elements that could go rogue, become a zombie, and turn the entire neighborhood. So it's not that what they're doing is bad, it's just that no one understands. They're not explaining anything, and they're making it into kind of a police state, but
Yeah, I believe if Rick or Rashawn did any things that the military were doing, we'd be okay with it.
I mean, I think they kind of have.
But I also feel at this point in time, not the military, I agree that they should be there, they should be feeding them, they should be taking away people who are a threat, but at the same time, they need to explain what's going on. And I think that disconnect between the military and the people in the future is going to lead, obviously, to shit going down.
See,
And
I'm going to pull a
rebellion.
Shane here and say, you know what? You don't question.
Yeah. Well, but see, at this point, they don't really know the extent of everything. So I kind of understand why they're like, why aren't you telling us what's going on?
Oh, I
Why?
totally get why they're doing it, but it's interesting that the tone that the show presents to the viewer
Mm-hmm.
is that. I mean, we get that maybe this doctor isn't on the up and up, but really everything she's doing makes sense.
Yeah.
If you divorce yourself from emotion and these aren't characters that you care about, everything she's doing makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You treat who you can, you're limited staff, and who you can't, I'm sorry, you put a bolt gun in their head. Like, that's kind of what you gotta do.
The one person that I feel is going a little bit overboard with everything is the barber. I feel like this is too early for him to be going this crazy. And in the next episode that we've watched, like we have watched 2 since the last podcast, and in the second one, they kidnap a military officer and they start basically carving his arm and ripping, like, and taking his skin. That, I feel, is an exaggerated reaction to your wife being taken.
They also, to be fair, learned a ton of crap that's going down. Like, they've got the inside info now because of them doing that.
Also, it's because this situation so mirrors the situation which molded him into that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you trapped Saeed from Lost in this situation. Would you really expect him not to kidnap somebody and carve them up for answers? Like, that's just kind of who he is.
I just, yeah.
I think the show would
I'm
be
having, I guess I'm having a hard time taking The Walking Dead out of my head and watching this show and having them explain it to me in a way, the way that they're explaining it, I feel on one hand, they're jumping the gun on some characters, pushing it a little bit too far, too fast, and then on some characters, they're just along for the ride and just don't care. And I think if my neighbors were gone or my ex-boyfriend had been basically was infected and things like that, like the daughter, like, I feel like her reactions and her playing around and, like, I would be trying to help my family, like, trying to go around collecting food, doing something, not dressing up and looting houses and basically being kind of an asshole. Like, I feel like the kids are, I guess it's the beginning of the, it's really hard to get The Walking Dead out of my head. Like, do not loot houses. Take what you need. If you need food, take that. You don't need to dress up in their clothes and, then break everything. Like, it's just being a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that we kind of established that these are kind of spoiled, pampered kids.
Yeah.
They don't really know. I'm very interested in the second episode, not of the season, but of since last week. The shyster in the cell with Nick, the guy who's constantly trading goods to the soldiers in exchange for favors.
Goods that mean nothing at this point, too. Like,
it's
that,
true.
But
Yeah, eventually.
cufflinks.
But they don't know that it won't.
And the very first exchange where he just completely tries to break Neighbor Boy is kind of cruel. But at the same time, this guy's playing a long-term goal. Like, he's got an end game. He knows something's up, and he has a plan to get out. And he's the first person we've seen who has a sense of what's going on and has a plan for himself to survive.
Yeah.
I call him the con man, and I love him, and he was the best part of this entire season. And I hope that he is who we follow throughout the rest of it, because first of all, he's hilarious. He's a little evil, and I kind of love it. And I want to see what happens next. I want to see what him and Nick get into in the finale.
I think he's simultaneously the best and worst person Nick could be around right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do have a question, though, if you guys want to input. Yeah. We see them taking all these people and putting them in the hospital because there's something wrong with them. They're defective in some way. So they're taking them to the hospital. But then we also have learned in this past episode that they're going to wipe out the whole town. So why are they pulling...
They're not going to wipe out the whole town. They're just going to leave.
It seemed like their plan was to kill everyone.
I don't
from
think
what
so.
I understood.
Oh, I didn't... I didn't get that.
I
just
didn't
got
feel
that
like they would.
that
I
they
felt
were
like
gone.
the military were just going to leave the area and let people fend for themselves, basically.
Yeah.
They should have gone to the desert in the first episode.
Yeah, because now they got whatever that building is. It's locked full of.
Yeah, there was no foreshadow there, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
They're gonna get out.
Dead
I'm gonna
inside.
say that, yeah.
don't open. Oh, man.
Also, I'm not sure if this show has been picked up for its second season.
Actually, this morning, I did see something. They're doing a web episode about a plane.
It's apparently, I don't know, because they're saying a character from that web series is going to be joining the cast, so that makes me think that
it's pertinent that we watch it for second season. Yeah. Is what they're saying. There's going to be a huge stuff. So I will.
Oh, so the plane crashes into the giant stadium.
Maybe.
And all the zombies spill out.
Maybe.
Or there's a zombie on a plane. Or I'm sorry, the infected on a plane.
On a plane.
I want to fucking zombies on this motherfucker.
So anyway, if y'all don't, I don't know, maybe y'all disagree with me, maybe y'all like Fear the Walking Dead. I'm just really excited for Walking Dead to be back. I want to see my Daryl. I want to see my Rick. I want to see Michonne kick ass. I want to see Carol kick ass.
I want to see Morgan and his bow staff.
And I do, I want to see Morgan so bad. And I miss those characters when I'm watching the show. I'm like, Rick would have had this figured out in 5 seconds.
We would have had this. They would have been one.
What is going on?
One episode, this would have been
He woke up in a coma and figured it out.
If Glenn would have taken the field trip to the infected zone, we would have saved the person and he wouldn't have put a hole in the fence.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Glenn would have saved
Climb
the day.
a fence. It wasn't that high. There wasn't razor wire at the top of it.
Sorry, Glenn.
Fence.
That's cold.
I know. I'm sorry, Glenn. So yeah. So Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. We've had 2 episodes of Doctor Who, the premiere and the follow-up episode. It was a 2-part, which it seems like almost every episode this season is going to be a 2-parter. So
back to the old ways.
Yes, Amanda's very excited about this. I haven't watched a whole lot of the older episodes, but I have read a lot of people commenting about the characters that are coming back, and even the way that they're filming the episodes look a little bit older. So we open up with the Doctor is on a battlefield. He is calling out to a little boy, trying to save him, until he learns that little boy's name is Davros.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which he then abandons him.
Don't really blame him.
Sorry.
Yeah, out of character
Shouldn't
for the
be
Doctor
laughing.
to me, but yeah, he abandons him. You can find yourself.
I don't know that it's out of character for the Doctor to run away.
That's
It's
true.
not.
Kind of
Actually,
his
that's usually
There were these creepy hands coming up out of the ground with eyeballs on them, which I've learned are hand mines. Is
Yes.
what they were called.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're really, really creepy. I would have
That
ran
was
too.
super creepy.
Like, yeah, they were pulling people down into the ground, and they were just gone. Soon dead. So the Doctor abandons Davros, and then we meet this new character that I've never seen that is made of snakes. This episode was just full of nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Colony
Sarf.
Yeah, Colony Sarf, made of twisting snakes. It's gross.
That was really cool, though. Actually, good effects on that one, guys.
It was very good, well done, but yeah, it was. Ugh.
Yeah, it was nasty.
So, and he's searching for the Doctor on behalf of Davros, and an elderly Davros wants to find the Doctor. Meanwhile, on Earth, Missy is looking for the Doctor. So she's just causing all kinds of problems trying to find the Doctor. She's frozen all of the airplanes in the world, and they just can't move.
Like you do.
Yeah, because why not? That's the only way to get
And
attention.
apparently this is just little magic for it's just little. It's just no big deal.
A little
It's
bit of air
parlor
jello,
trick.
no problem.
Yeah. So we see Unit for the first time in a good little while, I think. We haven't seen them Unit in a while. 12-year-olds. So they're calling in Clara because they think there's some kind of alien attack on Earth, and they need to find the Doctor as well. So everybody's just looking for the Doctor, and apparently Clara's the person who can find him. So she confronts Missy. Missy has some of the best one-liners in this episode. Like, she's just amazing.
Missy was on fire.
Yeah, I loved Missy in this episode. Just crazy, but loved her. Missy is got the Doctor's last will and testament. He left it to his best friend, and it was not Clara. It was it was Missy. So Clara is there with her. Missy's killing people and being sass-mouthed to Clara.
Yeah.
They get her to release the planes. She's... They don't open the Will and Testament. We can't open it. We still do not know what is in there and probably won't ever know. So...
I just hope he leaves me as Fez.
I got shot.
I don't care.
Okay. So then Clara does this very fast computer hacking.
As she does, because
takes
she's
her
very smart.
all about 3 minutes to locate the
Yeah,
doctor.
which is a skill she's always... Where did she get this skill?
Yeah, remember when Matt Smith and her, she was taken over by the machine? She's always been able to hack computers since then.
Oh, since then. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, didn't she get his number for computer help in the very beginning of her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, she just basically, she's clicking on the computer and, there's the doctor. I know exactly where he is, which I just kept thinking, like, it took Amy and Rory a lot longer to find him. Didn't they write his name in a cornfield to try to get his attention? Like, it took them a lot longer to locate him, and she can just figure out where he is.
Now somehow the satellites can tell time displacement.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
There's nothing logical going on in Doctor Who, so...
Yeah. So she locates the doctor. He is in Essex, 1138. He's having a party for himself because he thinks he's about to die.
I imagine that this would be what it's like to go to medieval times with the doctor.
And it sounds awesome. And damn, can he play.
Yeah, he comes out on a tank. He's playing his guitar. He's wearing sunglasses. He's making jokes, introducing technology that he should not be introducing words that he should not be introducing to them. Yeah, he's taught the locals dude. So yeah, he's just teaching them all kinds of stuff. So Clara and Missy are reunited with the doctor, and Colony Surf shows up and says, "You need to come see the elderly Davros. He needs to speak to you." And so he goes, and he's willing to go, but Missy and Clara won't let him go by himself, so they have to force themselves upon this. And they get teleported to what appears to be a hospital wing. Missy and Clara do not stay put, as no companion ever does. And they exit and realize that they think they're on a ship so they can see outer space, but then they just realize they're on an invisible planet. The planet shows
like you find yourself.
Yeah.
All the time.
Because, Missy's crazy and just decides to step out of the ship. Which they find out is just a building. And she finds out they're on the planet Scaris. And she freaks out about that. And then the Daleks show up and they get them back into the building. The doctor is having conversations with Davros this whole time, but he can see Clara and Missy, and they're arguing with the Daleks, and Missy's trying to change her allegiance a little bit to help them, or to persuade them to...
Well, help herself.
Yeah, help herself so that they don't kill her.
As Missy does.
Which doesn't happen, because they kill her, and then they kill Clara. And so that's where the doctor sees this happening, and they also blow up the TARDIS. So everything just goes down, and that's where it kind of ends. It ends with the doctor is again on the battlefield with the child Davros, and he's holding the Dalek whisk weapon up to the child Davros' head, and we're left to believe he's going to kill him. Which my kids freaked out and said, he doesn't use guns. So that's where we're left with that episode. And then
I do have to say two things. There was one quote by the Sisters Karn that I thought summed the doctor up so well that I wrote it down. And I love it. When the Colony Sarf goes to the Sisters Karn, the Sisterhood of Karn, he asks, "Where is the doctor?" And they respond, "Right behind you and one step ahead." And I think that one sentence really defines who the doctor is and exactly where he is. And that, you'll find him when he really wants you to find him, basically. Also, I loved Missy's response about the TARDIS when Clara was saying it's indestructible and you can't
You can't destroy
it. And she was like, you should never trust a man about his vehicle, which is very true. I snorted out loud when she said that. I was actually dying laughing so hard while I was watching this episode.
Missy was so good.
Missy was hysterical. And that's just one of her many quotes from this episode that I just loved. But
she's completely crazy. But yeah. And
is she though? Is she crazy?
I just find her so funny. Like I really, and Nicole, you tweeted this. I really would like Missy to be the next companion. Like I really think that the Doctor and Missy could get into so much trouble, and it would be amazing.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Not after this last episode, but
I'm very excited about River Song coming back for the Christmas episode because I totally want to see Capaldi and Alex Kingston sass each other. But I really want to see River Song and Missy. I really want to see those two trapped in a room.
That would be amazing.
And the Doctor has to save one of them.
I don't know who you pick. Apparently Missy's his best friend. So
I don't know. I feel like he'd pick River. I feel like he would pick River. I don't know. I would pick River, even though Missy's really funny.
Yeah.
But so is River.
Yeah, but the Doctor feels responsible for what happened to the Master.
Yeah.
Well, he should also feel responsible for what happened to River.
Yeah, he did upload her to a library.
I mean...
You're dead, but I'm going to preserve you in this external hard drive, pretty much.
It's not really his fault that she's dead, though. She knocked him out.
Yeah.
He didn't even know who she was at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time travel makes things weird.
So then we picked up Sunday with The Witch is Familiar, the second part of this episode. Missy and Clara are alive. They were able to save themselves from using the Daleks' energy from them shooting them. And it powered her teleporter, and she just teleported them out of the building. So, and you see kind of a flashback that the Doctor had done the same thing at a previous time. Missy and Clara are off to find the Doctor, but I guess Clara was knocked out, so Missy's got her hung up from a cliff, and she's threatening to eat her, and which was pretty funny. And then they're off to find the Doctor. She's so crazy in this episode. She's saying "we" when Daleks explode, and she's just all kinds of crazy. Best part of the episode, but crazy.
I like when she pushes Clara off a cliff and says, "I think it's 20 feet."
Oh, that was really, Clara did not appreciate that at all.
I think Clara's kind of a moron for not seeing that coming.
Yeah.
You don't stand near a hole with Missy. You just don't.
No.
It's dumb.
No, Clara pulls a lot of dumb stuff this episode. Clara makes...
She trusts
She's just
Missy
so
way too
naive.
much.
Like, why would you trust the Master with anything? Like...
Nope.
There's one point in the episode where they're in the graveyard of Daleks, which are just tunnels, which are there's rotting, decaying Daleks in this tunnel. It's gross. But Missy chains her to a wall because Clara's naive and stupid, and says, "You're the bait. We're gonna lure in a Dalek. We're gonna kill it." And so they do this. They kill this Dalek. They pull all the guts out of it, and somehow Missy convinces Clara to get inside of the Dalek so that they can make their way to the Doctor.
Anyone having deja vu?
Yes. Yeah, we've been through this.
Not Clara.
No.
Clearly.
But who do you get inside a Dalek? Because Missy's like, hey, yeah, we should do this. You go ahead and get inside there.
But her alternative was Missy being inside the Dalek, which could have been
also bad.
Very bad.
Yeah. But it was pretty cool, though. We kind of got to see how the Daleks function. Like, anytime Clara would say certain words, all that would come out is exterminate. Exterminate. She couldn't say certain things. Anytime she said, I am Clara, it just came out, I'm a Dalek. So it kind of it forces them to remove any emotion. There's no way around it.
Well, it doesn't remove emotion, though. It actually is powered on emotion. So
but it's on certain emotions.
Channels all of the frustration and hate and anger, and that's how they shoot.
Yeah. The only time she was able to throw it off was she was upset because Missy, again, she's told the doctor that Clara died, like that she couldn't do anything about it. Clara's dead, and then they encounter the Dalek that Clara is trapped inside of, and Clara manages to get the Dalek to say mercy, and the doctor realizes that Dalek should never be able to say that, so he knows something's up. And gets Clara out, and then tells Missy to run because he's very angry because Missy tried to commit something to kill her, and so he's just run, Missy, run, which I was championing for Missy to run. I wanted her to not die. So, but we see the Doctor and Davros have a lot of personal things going on. The Doctor also does some dumb things, where he tries to. Davros wants to see the sunrise one last time, and through his actual human eyes, and he can't do it. He can't. He doesn't have enough strength because he's dying, and so the Doctor uses some of his regenerative properties to help him, to let him see, which is a trap, and he ends up powering all of the Daleks, and
which kind of brings up, how many people has the Doctor watched die, and he's never used this regenerative power before, and now he uses it on Davros? It's a little... I mean, I get that he felt guilty for creating Davros and all this jazz, but it's a little odd to me that he pulls it out here and he didn't for Donna's grandfather, or... you know,
there's so many people along the way.
There's quite a few people who have died that...
like Danny.
No, God, he didn't want to save Danny at all.
I don't care. It's not cool. I'm still upset about that, guys. Poor Clara, man.
So yeah, so he's saving Davros and all the Daleks, and he's trapped there. Missy saves him, but then you find out that this was the Doctor's plan all along. Like, he was always one step ahead. He knew this was all going to happen, which is brilliant, but still, like, it I don't know. It seemed kind of convenient to me, but it was just like, oh, by the way, he was one step ahead. He knew all this was going to happen.
A little convenient, yeah.
Yeah. So we end with the Doctor returns to the battlefield with the young Davros, and instead of destroying Davros to save his friends or prevent this whole thing from happening, he decides to kill or take out all the hand mines. He gets rid of all them. So, and then he assists the young Davros home. So hopefully, I don't know if he's trying to change the course of his childhood.
Teaches him mercy, is what he's saying.
Basically, it was one of those self-fulfilling prophecies where he realized that if the Dalek knew mercy, then someone had to teach them mercy at some point. So he had to travel back in time to be merciful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we ended. We're waiting for the next episode, which I'm sure will be another two-parter. This episode was a Moffat episode for these last two episodes. The next ones are not.
If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, and I've read a lot of complaints about how they handle the Daleks and how Moffat handles the Daleks in general. People seem to not like. He makes them a little bit weaker than they used to be. Like,
they were standing around in a room with Clara and Missy, just standing there listening to them talk. When, I'm sorry, if it was really a killing machine, they would have been dead way sooner than they were. These things, I mean, I know that wouldn't have been a show, but at the same time, come on, make them a little bit more scary. Come on.
Yep, so that's what we're doing.
Yes, but then you look at the original Daleks and like, okay, they were scary, but they couldn't use stairs, you know? Like, I mean,
sure.
A little trade-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes you think of the episode where they fly for the first time like that. It's like,
it'll be fine. Let's just go up some stairs. Like,
yeah.
Oh crap.
They learned how to levitate. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to the next episode. It'll be Sunday.
Yeah.
And it looks super scary. And awesome.
Looks like it's going to be another
Saturday.
Saturday. You're right. Yeah. Too many shows. So Saturday. Can't wait. Looks like it's going to be another two-parter, as most of the episodes this season are going to be two-parters. Which you said also goes back to the old days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lots of multi-part. I guess on to Gotham.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have the nifty written out synopsis of the episodes, which is fine because neither of my co-hosts have watched
I am on
the last half of the last season or the first 2 episodes of the season.
4 episodes of
4
the first
total.
season.
4 total.
No. I watched 4 more last night. So I'm on episode 8.
I'm on episode 16 of season 1. So I am, and I just met the Joker. So I'm very excited.
Or is he the Joker?
I met some bald
Dun, dun,
dude.
dun.
I don't remember.
I don't know, that laugh.
They lead you to believe that he's the Joker, but there might be a twist coming up. I've seen some spoilers coming out that there might be a twist coming up that maybe he isn't the Joker. They do a lot of this in Gotham. It's not, nothing's canon, so is this who you think it's gonna be? Is it not? So in the last 2 episodes, we've been introduced to a new character named Theo Galavan. A lot of buzz on the web is that he is going to be Ra's al Ghul. A little tricky because Ra's al Ghul is on Arrow right now, and they've already established him as a character there in the DC universe, so it'll be interesting to see if Gotham exists completely outside of everything else that's happening all over in the DC universe right now, or if they're going to tie it together. Love the actor playing Theo Galavan, but I think he's a better Ra's al Ghul than Liam Neeson by a long shot, but I don't think that, I don't see this silk tie wearing member of the Gotham Elite becoming the leader of the League of Assassins. It's a little bit of a leap to break some crazies out of Arkham and get them to do your bidding, to running, a huge old centuries old League of Assassins. A little odd, but Gotham can do it. They've done things I never thought they would be able to pull off. This season has already started out to be darker, but also more campy and over the top than last season. They've definitely decided to leave the kind of gritty realism that they were trying to walk the line of behind. The villains have stepped up their game. They're crazier, they're bigger, they're more theatrical. You've got Edward Nygma talking to himself. The Riddler is definitely starting to evolve. So we got Commissioner Loeb steps down after Jim Gordan tests what he's willing to do for the greater good. So we see Gordan do some things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought our future Commissioner Gordan to be capable of. But he does manage to get to Loeb to step down, and Captain Essence steps up for what is the shortest stint of a commissioner in Gotham, which is saying a lot. I don't want to give too many spoilers away. It was nice to see Lucius Fox again. I'm very excited to see him become part of the series. Episode 2, I felt like a lot went on. Huge kerfuffle at the Gotham police station. But really, for me, the entire episode was about Alfred. It was about Alfred with tough love and Alfred being a total badass. And I
can't wait.
Also, so much limey British slang. Like,
love. Okay, cannot wait.
He basically tells a story about how he threatened to roll a guy up like a kipper. And it's crazy. He threatens Lucius Fox because he's like, I have to know if I can trust you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some hard stuff with Alfred the second episode, and it was amazing. I'm so excited to see the journey that Bruce and Alfred go on. What is the end game for Theo Galvan and the Maniacs with an X? There's not many of them left.
Clarify that.
Yes.
With an X.
It's kind of a thing. You'll see.
Okay.
Again, can't give it away, but they would have had enough people to spell it properly, but instead it's an X and an exclamation point. Yeah, so where is that going? And okay, so I followed with you on the crazy twist with Barbara Keene. Now she's a psychopath and she's in Arkham, and then she busts out. And so how does this work? I mean, I know that they've abandoned canon at this point, but is Jim Gordan eventually going to have a daughter that he names after this crazy woman? How is this going to work? Are we not going to have a Batgirl in this universe? She's going to be coming along in a couple of years at this point. I don't know where that's going. How far will Gordan go on the dark side in the name of good. There's been a lot of good analysis of how he and Penguin are kind of the two sides of the coin, if you will, which brings to mind that Harvey Dent hasn't made an appearance yet this season, but we did see him last season. So speaking of coins, how is he going to work into all of this? And will that somehow get pulled into the whole Maniac storyline? I'm really liking this season so far. I think that they've fixed a lot of the problems that were going on in the first season, and they've just decided that they're not going to try and make this, a Law and Order Gotham. That it's gonna be ridiculous from the get-go, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Supposedly, episode 3 is off the chain, so got my fingers crossed and I'm waiting.
I just can't wait to get caught up. Yeah. It's probably one of my new favorite shows now. Yeah. Amanda's like, you have to watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. So when it finally came on Netflix, I've literally watched 16 episodes since it's been on Netflix. That's what she does with her life now. Whatever, dude. It's amazing. So, yeah. And I caught up on Once Upon a Time.
Yes. But if you have theories about who Theo Galavan is, or just want to talk about how badass Alfred is, leave us some comments so that we can have a conversation.
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah, so the last thing we have to discuss is the one episode of Once Upon a Time that we've gotten so far. I'm a little...
really?
New dark one. Yeah, the new dark one was a little lackluster for me.
But she has a new coat.
She does have a new coat. The red coat was picked up by somebody else. So
it's not her.
It's not her. Yeah, and it's turned into stone now, so it might be gone forever. No more red coat.
No more red coat. Who is she? The little girl in Schindler's List? Come on, no more red coat.
We're so over this coat. It's the sheriff's coat too. Like we've decided, it is the sheriff's coat. If you are sheriff in this town, you have to wear the red coat.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. I don't remember Christian Grey wearing the red coat.
No. He had a brown one, I think.
He looks like a proper sheriff.
Yeah. So we start with. The whole town is trying to bring Emma back from her becoming the Dark One at the end of the previous season. They're off to get her and make her, I guess, try to just save her. Hook is making all kinds of horrible decisions. He is just doing, blinded by love, I don't know, making bad decisions.
He's the new Belle.
Yeah. Emma is
horrible decisions for the Dark One.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good job, Hook. Good job.
So Emma's trapped in the Enchanted Forest. She's got Rumple as a guardian angel, which crazy. But it's good. Like he is trying to persuade her to embrace her darkness. The whole town is still in Storybrooke. They're trying to get to her, and Hook seems to think like, hey, you know what? Zelina's in this dungeon. She's got to be the only one that can help us. Let me go let her out, pretty much. So Zelina escapes. She really just has her own plans and wants revenge, and that's all she's fixated on. She wants the wand, and Regina has it, and Regina hands it over to her. But all the while, Regina knows that Zelina's going to try to open a portal to go back to Oz, and then they're going to use that portal to get them to the Enchanted Forest. So lots of magic ensues, and they teleport the whole diner to the Enchanted Forest with children in the diner.
Yeah, infants.
Let's just get in a tornado with infants in a diner.
Like, it's not just that.
You're glass falling everywhere.
You've never been before. Let me bring my infant son.
Okay. Are there no babysitters?
Let's just take the whole town.
Storybrooke, really?
And it was like every person in the town was just like, "Oh, I want to go. Let's all cram in the diner." And glass falling everywhere.
They were taking the only place that serves food.
Which didn't work out in the end. As soon as they land, Granny's like, "Oh, the fryers are shot. Can't."
They can make coffee though.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Storybrooke starves.
There's no other restaurants in town.
But there's no one there.
Okay. I hope there's a grocery store. Otherwise, they're screwed.
I mean, the ice cream shop's even gone at this point. So. Mm-hmm. So Emma is in the Enchanted Forest with Rumple or a vision of Rumple, and she's helping out Merida. She's encountered Merida, and Which I like Merida. They're following the wisps, and she's trying to find Merlin to help her to get the dark one out of her. So after everybody shows up in town, they find Emma, and she's got Merida's heart in her hands, and Rumple is whispering to her to just kill her and embrace her darkness. So I'm guessing she has to kill someone in order to fully. And also, do dark ones not shower? Do they just? They have to be dirty. They don't wash their hair.
I don't think anyone in Storybrooke showers.
Well, I mean,
well, it's Storybrooke they do. Maybe not the Enchanted
they're from
Forest,
the medieval.
but,
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, so gross. Emma's hair.
Like Hook wears the same thing every day.
gross.
Like I'm sure he probably showers like once every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, her hair was just the whole episode. I was like, please, somebody just go to the river.
I was just
and wash
glad
your
it
hair.
wasn't in the red jacket.
Before we go away from Merida, though, can I tell you how sad I am that her dad died? I was really looking forward to him being part of this story. Like, I really wanted him. And the fact that the triplets were kidnapped.
They're not
Y'all,
bears, though.
That's really sad. No, I'm very upset about the dad. I even wrote it down. I was like, no. Not cool. He would have been a fantastic part of the show. Anyway, go ahead.
I did think it was awesome, too, that they also gave Zelina a slightly better motive. It wasn't just to get revenge. I don't know that you're gonna see her again for a while until.
We've seen her briefly. She was in the diner.
Well, you're gonna see her because she didn't
She's
get
there.
away, but she was.
Zelina's still there. We see them. Arthur rides up on his horse with all of his men, and they are prophesized to have showed up. Mm-hmm. So they're going to take them, and they're off to find Merlin. As soon as they arrive, they know that Merlin will return. So we see them leaving with Arthur, and then all of a sudden we snap to 6 weeks later, and the diner's back in Storybrooke. Everyone's in medieval garb, and nobody has their memories. It's another memory spell.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Think of something new.
Yeah.
I'm tired of them losing their memory. They need to know what the hell's going on, and this is annoying. They're not going to have a brain by the time this is done. I'm so done with that.
So Emma shows up, and she is the Dark One. She is completely consumed by darkness. She's in black. She's got matted white hair with feathers in it because I'm guessing she's the Dark Swan. And she's vowed to take vengeance on all the ones she loves.
Being the Dark One apparently bleaches out your eyebrows.
Yeah.
Also, for women, it apparently saps all sense of humor. Mm-hmm. She was more in the vein of Regina as an evil character than she was as any of the Dark Ones that we've seen. I wish that she had gone maniacal like Rumple. I wish we could have seen some glee and some joy in being evil, but she just seems dour and completely humorless.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to be coming into episodes to see how, I guess we're just going to be reliving this last 6 weeks.
How does the blade that makes someone the Dark One, how is that a piece of Excalibur?
And how long is Excalibur, dude?
Holy crap.
It's a long freaking sword.
That's a big sword. That's what she's
It's probably a broadsword made with two-hander.
That's what she said again.
But how does that storyline tie in?
Up, yeah.
Like, Excalibur's supposed to be the thing that leads you to victory and makes you the king, and yet a piece of it makes you the evil one.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Gotta find Merlin.
And was that Merlin at the very beginning in the theater, or was that one of his minions talking to young Emma? That is my question. I think it was Merlin.
But if it was Merlin, does that mean that that's what Merlin looks like, or can he just take any form because he's Merlin?
If it is Merlin, he's a cutie patootie face. Stinking cutie.
Yeah, that's where we are. We got a new episode this weekend.
We have Sleepy Hollow will be premiering October 1st, so that's next week.
Yep.
And then after that, the week after, we have iZombie and Supernatural and Haven and The Walking Dead. So all of those will be covered in the next episode. So we're going to be every 2 weeks. So there you go.
So catch up with us. Leave comments on your theories and what you thought of all the episodes. We'll get back to you and hopefully can have some discussions.
And also on the last episode, I said the wrong Twitter handle. So our Twitter handle is @itsnotthegeekdom. just a show. So follow us on Twitter. Is that all?
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
All right.
Bye, y'all.